Okay, good morning once again to all of you. Before we start with this topic, heights and distance, you make sure that you have the previous knowledge of the topics that you have already done in class 9, that is the trigonometrical ratios, of the standard angles. You also have done just in the previous class we have discussed about the trigonometrical identities. So the basic idea or the knowledge of this trigonometry must be known to you. Because here now we are going to discuss about the application of trigonometry through the topic heights and distance. So to start with heights and distance, as I told you, the previous knowledge, that is the trigonometrical ratios of the standard angles, trigonometrical identities, this basic knowledge is required in order to go ahead with this particular topic. Now today in this chapter we will try to understand and learn how trigonometry is used in the life around us. Trigonometry is basically used in various fields. It is used by the astronomers, it is used in geography, it is used in navigation, it is used in the construction of maps and so many various application areas. So through this chapter, today we will see how trigonometry is used in finding the heights and distances of various objects physically which we cannot measure. We cannot measure them directly. So through this chapter we will try to find out how heights and distance helps us in trigonometry helps us in finding the heights and distance of various objects without actually measuring them. So to start with this, we have to understand two basic things here. The thing is that first of all you need to know what is line of sight, then normal direction of vision, which is we refer to also as horizontal. Then we have angle of elevation, and finally we have got angle of depression. So before we can start with this particular topic of heights and distance, let us first understand these few terms related to this particular chapter. First is the line of sight, then normal direction of vision, then angle of elevation and angle of depression. So let us take it one by one. Suppose a person is on the horizontal ground. This is a horizontal. The road, suppose it is a ground. If anyone is positioned here in this position A, and suppose this person is looking at an object which is above the horizontal. Suppose here is the object. This is an object. Suppose a tower is here. The top of the tower is the position where this person is looking into. So the eye of the observer is at the point A and is looking at a point of this tower at this position. Suppose it is C, if we take it as B. So this, if you join this line AC, this line is called the line of sight. This line is called the line of sight. It is the line in which the observer's eye is looking at a point of the particular object. Suppose BC is the tower and the person who is standing at the position A is looking at a point C of this tower. So this is called the line of sight. This direction, if you are standing here, this is the normal direction of vision. Normal direction of vision, which we can also refer to as horizontal. Okay, now here is the angle formed. The angle that is formed here, the angle is formed between the line of sight and the normal direction of vision, or you can say with the horizontal. That means the angle which this line of sight makes with the horizontal, this angle is called the angle of elevation. This is called the angle of elevation, is the angle which is made by the line of sight and the normal direction of vision. So you can define it as how we define line of sight. So line of sight is the line drawn from the eye of an observer, from the eye of an observer to the point in the object, viewed by the observer. Then we define, so line of sight is the line drawn from the eye of an observer to the point in the object viewed by the observer. So if this is the point where the person is looking into, and this is the eye of the observer, and this is your horizontal, so this is the line of sight, LOS, line of sight. Now we'll define what is the angle of elevation. So the angle of elevation, is this angle, the angle made by the line of sight with the horizontal. So the angle of elevation of the point viewed is the angle formed by the line of sight.
Yes, sir.
Formed by the line of sight. Angle of elevation of the point viewed is the angle formed by the line of sight with the normal direction of vision. With the normal direction of vision, which we can also call as horizontal. When the point viewed is above the horizontal level, So you have the two definitions. Let us go through it again. The line of sight is the line drawn from the eye of an observer to the point in the object viewed by the observer. And the angle of elevation of the point viewed is the angle formed by the line of sight with the normal direction of vision, that is the horizontal, when the point viewed is above the horizontal level. Now, that is, we can also say, that is, when we raise our head, That is when we raise our head to look at the object. To look at the object. So this is the definition of the line of sight and the angle of elevation. Actually, what is happening? Supposing this is your normal direction of vision. When you stand on a horizontal level, this is your normal direction of vision because you look straight. So the direction in which we see normally is the normal direction of vision. So if this is the normal direction of vision, then when you talk about the angle of elevation, that means we have to raise our head because the object is above the horizontal. So this way you are raising the head. This is the head you are raising up so that you can look at the point on the object. And this is the angle which is made called the angle of elevation. So your head is normally like this, the eyes looks in front which is called the normal direction of vision. But when we look at an object which is above the horizontal, we need to raise our head in the upward direction, and then thereby the angle that is formed is called the angle of elevation. Okay? Now,
yes, sir.
we take let us take this horizontal position again. Now the situation is a little different. You are positioned at a point, suppose this is the roof of your house. You are standing here and you are looking at an object in this position. You are looking at an object, so this is the eyes, this is the eye, and this is the object at which you are looking into. You are looking at this. Now your normal direction of vision is this one. This is your normal direction of vision. So if you are standing here, then your normal direction of vision is straight in this direction. But you will have to look to an object which is below this level. So you have to look in this direction. So if we join this, if we name it as ABC, then which is your line of sight? The line of sight is CA. This is the line of sight, but in this case we are looking at an object which is below this normal direction of vision or below the horizontal. Now according to the definition, the angle is always formed with the normal direction of vision and the line of sight. So which is the angle which is formed between the line of sight and the normal direction of vision or the horizontal? So here the angle is this one. So this is the angle. This angle is called the angle of depression. This is called the angle of depression. Remember, the common mistake that one makes, they take this angle as the angle of depression, which will be completely wrong. Just stick to the definition, and the definition says the angle which is formed between the line of sight and the normal direction of vision, and that is this angle. Now, if you were to solve question based on when the angle of depression is involved, so you see this line and this line are parallel lines. So if we can consider this line of sight to be a transversal, then this angle and this angle will be equal. Okay? So these are equal because the reason is they are interior alternate angles. Interior alternate angles. The property of parallel lines. These two lines are parallel. So even if the angle of depression is given, we can shift this angle to this position, applying the properties of the parallel lines. So this angle and this angle are equal. So the angle theta, which is given as the angle of depression, if you take it as theta here, then this becomes the angle of elevation. And now again we can solve in the similar method, like using this triangle without getting into trouble using this triangle. So this is the thing. But if the question is involved regarding the angle of depression, then this line is a must to be shown in the paper. If you don't draw this line and don't show this angle, then your marks will be deducted. You cannot take directly this particular angle as the angle of depression. This is the angle, same angle, obviously the same angle. We have applied the properties of parallel lines so that this angle and this angle becomes equal. But if the question is that the angle of depression is given, then you have to draw this diagram first. You have to mention this angle here and then finally this one, so that you can apply the trigonometrical ratios to find out the required unknown quantity. Okay, so now let us, so here as I told you, this is the normal, your position is here, this is the object. Now you can visualize it in this way. Again we take, suppose this is the normal direction of vision but at a height above the, below the horizontal. You have to look below the horizontal. The point where you have to look is below this. So what if this is the head, eyes, so we can just shift it like this. So looking in the downward direction, this is the angle which is formed, is called the angle of depression. This is your normal direction of vision and this is the direction in which you are looking into the object. So the angle that is formed between the line of action, this is the line of action and this is the horizontal normal direction of vision, this angle is called the angle of depression. So hopefully it is clear. So again I repeat, if you are looking at an object which is below the horizontal level, so this is the normal direction of vision. So if you are to look at an object which is below the horizontal, so your head, eyes has to go down like this, and then the angle that is formed between these two palms is the angle of depression. So now let us write angle of depression of a point, angle of depression of a point on the object being viewed, on the object being viewed, is the angle formed by, is the angle formed by the line of sight, is the angle formed by the line of sight with the horizontal, with the horizontal, or we can write with the normal direction of vision. In bracket I write it as horizontal, so that you don't get confused. With the normal direction of vision on the horizontal level, when the point is below the horizontal level. That is the case when we lower our head to look at the point being viewed. So this is how we can define the angle of depression. So angle of depression of a point on the object being viewed is the angle formed by the line of sight with the normal direction of vision or the horizontal, that when the point is below the horizontal level. That is the case when we lower our head to look at the point being viewed. So note it down, then we move further on this particular concept. So now moving further, let us solve a few questions based on this particular concept so that the concept becomes more clear, because this is actually the application of trigonometry, and as I told you in the beginning, the knowledge of the trigonometrical ratios and the ratios of the standard angles are known to you. In case you have forgotten, you must take care that you learn those things. So question number 1. A vertical pole is 7√3 meters high, and the length of its shadow and the length of its shadow is 21 meter. So find the angle of elevation. Find the angle of elevation of the source of light. So in the beginning we have already mentioned that trigonometry is basically based on a right angle triangle. So here also we will be concerned with the construction of a right angle triangle under the given condition which is available in the question. So first of all, it is given a vertical pole, and obviously the vertical pole has to stand on the ground level. So beforehand you can simply draw the horizontal. This is the horizontal, and the pole, if you take this as the pole, the pole is standing on the horizontal. Now it is being said a vertical pole is 7√3 meter high. So this is the pole and the height of this is 7√3 meters. And the length of its shadow, this is the shadow, and the shadow is 21 meters. This shadow is 21 meters. Find the angle of elevation of the source of light. The light is here, so if you look from this point, this angle you have to find. Suppose this angle is theta. So we name it as A, B and C. This is the very important information given in the question. You have to find the angle of elevation, and angle of elevation is theta. Now how to get theta? Now if you look at in the previous knowledge of trigonometrical ratios, the angles and the sides are related. The sine of the angles, the cosine of the angles, the tangent of the angles, cotangent, like these, all these are expressed in terms of the ratios of the sides. So you have to see what information is given, which two sides are given. So if you see to this particular triangle, you already know if this is the angle, then the adjacent side is called the horizontal, and the side opposite to it is the perpendicular. So this is the perpendicular, this is the base, and this is the hypotenuse. But what information is given? The perpendicular and the base, and perpendicular and base is related with tan. So tan theta is perpendicular by base. So perpendicular by base is AB by BC. So we can write AB is given 7√3 and BC is 21. So we can write it as √3 by 3. Now since this is √3 by 3, we have to find angle theta. We can rationalize it as equals to √3 by 3 into √3 by √3 if we multiply. So we get 3 by 3√3, and that is 1 by √3. Now the standard angle concept is required here. We have tan theta equals to 1 by √3, and that 1 by √3 is tan of 30 degrees. So if tan theta is tan 30, so the theta is 30 degrees. So we have the angle of elevation of the source of light is to be 30 degrees. Hope it is clear to all of you. And now, any doubt, anyone?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, now moving on to the
No, sir.
question number 2. A ladder of length 30 meter is placed against the wall a wall such that it just reaches the top of the the 15-meter high wall, the 15-meter high wall. At what angle? At what angle is the ladder inclined to the ground? Is the ladder inclined to the ground? This diagram will do, but then again I will do it right from the beginning so that you can understand it clearly. First of all, as I told you, the ground is the must. So let us draw the horizontal. A ladder of 30 meter is placed. The length of the ladder is 30 meter, placed against a wall. So this is the wall, such that it reaches just the top of the 15-meter high wall. This is the wall which is height is 15 meters, and this is the ladder whose length is 30 meters. A, B, C, we name it as ABC. It is a right angle triangle, obviously. So a ladder of 30 meter is placed against a wall such that it just reaches the top of this 15-meter high wall. At what angle is the ladder inclined to the ground? So this is the ladder, and its angle of inclination with the ground, that means this is theta. The similar type question, but now you can see very clearly the sides which are given. It is given the perpendicular and the hypotenuse, and we have been given, we can note it down that AC is equals to 30 meter and AB is equals to 15 meter. We have to find the value of theta. Now what ratio we will apply? Sin theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse. So you can write AB by AC. AB by AC. Now what is AB? 15, and what is AC? 30. And that is 1 by 2. So if you refer to the ratios of the standard angles, sin theta is half, and sin half is means sine of 30 degrees. So again here we have theta is equals to 30 degrees. That means the ladder is inclined at an angle of 30 degree to the horizontal, or you can say to the ground. Okay, so this is what is the basic idea involved in this particular topic. We will be getting more complicated questions, but then the idea is that you have to confine yourself to a right angle triangle and find out the proper ratio so that you can reach to the final answer. So moving on to question number 3. The top of a tower makes an angle of 45 degrees at a point in the horizontal plane. In the horizontal plane at a distance of 20 meters. Find the height of the tower. Find the height of the tower. So let us now construct the figure for this particular question. The top of a tower makes an angle of 45 degrees at a point in the horizontal plane. This angle is 45 degrees. Name it as ABC. makes an angle at a point at a distance of 20 meter. This is the distance 20 meter. The distance of the foot of this tower to the point C is 20 meters. You have to find the height of this tower. So this we have to find. Now see the sides which can be related to which particular trigonometrical ratios. We have to find the perpendicular. We are given the base and the angle. So perpendicular and base. So this will be tan. So you can write tan of 45 degrees is equals to AB by BC. So tan 45 value is 1. So AB and BC given is 20. So AB is equals to 20 meters. Very simple. Simple in the sense that we are drawing the diagram correctly. In case you put the values in the incorrect positions, so definitely you will be landing into a wrong answer. So be careful while construction of this particular diagram and referring the sides and the angles correctly. So moving on to question number 4. The length of the shadow of a root 3 meter high bamboo tree is 3 meters. Then what will be the angle of elevation of the top of the bamboo tree? Top of the bamboo tree at the end of the shadow. At the end of the shadow. So obviously again, since this is a tree and has to land on the ground, so this is your ground, this is the tree. The length of the shadow of a root 3 meter high bamboo tree, so this is the tree, so the height is root 3 meter, and the length of the shadow is given as 3 meters. This is 3 meters. Then what will be the angle of elevation of the top of the bamboo tree at the end of the shadow? So if you are looking from this position to the top of this tree, then you need to find this angle. So let this angle be theta. Again, this is perpendicular and this is base, so you can write tan theta, name it as ABC. Tan theta is perpendicular, this is AB by BC. So we can write it as root 3 by 3. So again we rationalize it, root 3 by 3 into root 3 by root 3. So it becomes 3 by 3 root 3 and that is 1 by root 3. So we have tan theta is equals to tan 30. So theta is equals to 30 degrees. So here also the answer is coming to 30 degrees. That is the angle of elevation of the top of the bamboo tree at the end of the shadow. That means if your eyes are here and this is the top of the bamboo tree and this is the horizontal, so this angle which is made, this is called the line of sight, this is the normal direction of vision. So the angle made by the line of sight and this normal direction of vision is this angle theta, which is 30 degrees. Now let us move on to question number 5. The height of a telephone, the height of a telephone pole is 1 3 times the length of shadow. The length of its shadow. Find the angle of elevation. Find the angle of elevation of the source of light. So again, let us draw the diagram for this. The height of a telephone pole is 1 by root 3 times. So this is the ground. This is the telephonic pole. This is the shadow ABC. It is given in the question the height of the telephone pole, this h, is 1 by root 3 times the length of the shadow. If we take the length of the shadow as x, this is the shadow, then the height of this pole is 1 by root 3 times the length of the shadow, that is x. So find the angle of elevation. So you have to find this. So perpendicular and base. So it is tan theta equals to AB by BC. AB is 1 by root 3x by x comes to 1 by root 3. So again we have tan theta equals to tan of 30 degrees. So theta is 30 degrees. So the angle of elevation in this case is also 30 degrees. So let us take question number 6. Is there time is over today? Let it be, because you have to join the next class. Anyway, you go through all this, and next class will be again solving many problems based on it, a little tougher problems, not actually basically tough, but the concept you have to keep along this. Till then, bye bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.